Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Those of you watching the recordings, I do hear anecdotally that there are folks that watch this after the fact. So even though we have a small select crowd that join us in person, happy to try to continue these tech talks. Not sure how many more weeks we'll be able to do it because with testing and everything else, people just don't have time for it. So, but there was a topic that we planned on covering, and this is one of my favorites. It's not like a tool that you would use in the classroom every single day, but man, for me personally, super helpful tool. So let me share my screen, and we will get going. Here we go. And I have a video for you too. So, all right, you guys seeing that? Okay. So we're going to talk about Google Keep today. Whoops, I don't want to share it. You probably don't. It's already shared. The link is there, and I can drop that into the chat. Let me copy that link. And whoops, go back. And let somebody else in. Admit. Oh, Whitney Durant. It's been a while since we've seen Whitney. Have her here. And then the chat. So here's the link to, this will take you to my website that has these slides, the links you'll need, plus kind of a longer recording going through. I usually take about, a full hour meeting to go through this stuff. So we'll kind of breeze through these slides today. But again, Google Keep is one of my favorite tools. And what you might ask is Keep. And we have people coming in. Sandra, let me get this here. All right. So let's give you let me put my video screen up here at the top so I can make room for all these other little pop-up windows that are showing up. Okay, so let's have a little video. You guys are hopefully familiar with Ellen DeGeneres. So she's going to give us a scenario that may sound familiar to you.
It's technology. We have all these buttons, speed dial, redial, you program numbers in so you never have to remember them anymore. And so you don't, use it or lose it. I'm losing it. I don't remember anything anymore because of the buttons that are remembering things for me. Have you ever forgotten what you were going to say as it's coming out of your mouth? Hey, you know what? What was I going to say?
And I don't know about you, but I feel that all the time, or I'm working on something and then something else gets into my mind and then I forget what I was coming back for. Or the worst is I pick up my phone and in the time I go from, to here, I've forgotten what I want to do on my phone. And so this is a good help for that. So this is the best Google app tool that no one really knows about and no one really ever uses. What it is, like I said, this session is usually like a big fire hose. Slow me down, stop me if you have questions. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of give you some highlights of what Google Keep is and what it does. So it is a web-based idea organizer, and it helps you when you can't remember stuff, right? If I can't remember stuff, pop it into Keep. And then when I need it, when time comes that I can use that information, it's there waiting for me. And so is it an app in G Suite like Gmail and Calendar, or is it a Chrome extension, or is there an app on your phone that you can use Keep? And so the answer is yes, it is all of these. So Google Keep is kind of wherever you are and is ready to jot a note, to do a checklist, to do, to take information off a website and kind of bookmark it that way. Take a picture of something and try to remember it for later. Just a really flexible, great tool. And again, it works everywhere. There's apps for your phone, for your tablet. There's an extension that work on Chromebooks. There's a Google Keep app in your little Google waffle grid where you can go to that you've probably scrolled right on by looking for something else. but again, it's just a nice tool to always have your important stuff with you. And you can categorize things, organize them into, you can use labels to organize things, colors, all kinds of stuff. So Google Keep, the first thing, it is like I said, it's an app in your Google Apps drawer. It's a little light bulb, like an idea, a little boing. So you remember those kind of things. It might be kind of hanging down underneath your more, because again, it's something that not everybody uses. So you may have to go to the App Store, go to more, and scroll down there. So it should already be there, you know, and it's also, you don't have to use always your school account. I have separate Google Keeps for personal stuff and for my school stuff, for the stuff I do for work. So in my personal one, there's a ton of recipes. So if there's, you know, things, my wife is gluten intolerant. And so if I want to find a chicken recipe that's gluten-free, I can go to my Keep and put in chicken and gluten-free, or look at those tabs. And then those recipes can pop up to the front. But again, for research, for stuff you're doing for school, if you come across a great website, a great tool, you can just kind of bookmark it and kind of save something in Keep, and it'll be there for you when you need to use it. You know, when you're, you know, you always run into cool things when you're not ready for it, right? So you can always just kind of save it for later and come back to it. It is a Chrome extension. So if you go to the Chrome web store and search for Google Keep, it's chrome.google, or it's I don't know what the URL for, but there's a link on the link that I gave you to begin with in the chat. That'll take you to my website that has the links to all the apps and the extensions and everything. So it's there. It's also here live in the slides. Whoops, I went backwards. So if I click on this link here, it'll take us to the Chrome web store and Google Keep Chrome extension. I already have it installed, so I have the remove from Chrome button. And so just to give you an idea of what Keep does, let's just open up a new tab, and where's somewhere that let's go to the USB or schools.utah.gov, isn't it? I can't see. I almost had it perfectly. And so let's say I'm doing some research for students and families on section 504. And so I think this is a very useful site for me. And this is really some useful information there. So I'm going to highlight that. And then here's my Keep icon. I can't scroll in for you, but it's just here, my extensions. Looks like a little grayed out light bulb. But when I click the extension, look what happens. So it bookmarks the site, gives me the URL, gives me a place for a title. So 504 info from USB. And then the text that I highlighted, it includes in the note. So real quickly, it gives me a meaningful kind of quick little bookmark that I can apply labels to. Just click here. There's some different labels here. If I need to make a new one, I can just start typing in a label, or I'm ready to go. And if I just close that and I keep browsing, like say, oh, I also want to grab like, well, let's go to this page here. So maybe I want to wear something with some more information on it, like this guy right here. I'll highlight that and hit the Keep icon, and it just adds, it appends that that highlighted text to my note. So if it's a new site, this should go yellow. I don't know why it's not turning yellow, but once I've kept something from a site, the little extension should be yellow. But if I keep highlighting and adding stuff to it, it'll add to that note, or otherwise it will, it'll just be there waiting for me. And so to get to Keep, again, I'll jump back here to my drive. Here's my grid. And I've moved Keep up from the bottom. Like I said, normally it's down here under more, and I just drug it up to the top because it's something that I think is useful and I use quite a bit. So if I open up Keep, okay, there it is right here, 504 info from USB-E. If I open that guy up, There's the link from the site that I was at. There's the 2 different bits of text that I highlighted. And then down here at the bottom, there's some useful things. I can add reminders. I can add a collaborator. If this is like a checklist, which you can make and keep, I can add somebody to it, and we can both be working on adding things and checking things off of a checklist. If I'm a color organizer, if this needs to be an orange, then I can change the color of it. If I want to put an image in there, I can copy and paste it or include an image there. All kinds of different stuff you can do with a keep note. This pin here at the top, if it's something that I'll need to refer to over and over again or something that I want to keep handy, I can click the pin and then it shows up here at the top with my pinned notes. Okay. Questions so far? Kathleen, doing good? Am I going too fast? Doing okay? Okay. All right. And so these are all my notes that I can go back through. Again, I've got, these are my my labels that I've labeled stuff. So if I have things that are helpful for Canvas, I can click that, and here's all of my color-coded cool Canvas things that I've come across. If I've got information on certifications that I'm interested in, whatever you want to create as far as labels go, you can add one or many labels to each one of your notes. And remember, Google is a search company, and so Google Keep does very, very well, with search. And so when I go into search, not only can I just search by the text, but I can say, show me things with images or drawings. I haven't even looked at drawings yet, or URLs, or labels that I use quite often, or people that I've shared notes with, or the colors that I want. Like if I want to see all my orange notes, if these are orange things for me, then there you go. So I can organize things however makes sense for me. Okay, so that's the extension and the website. Let's kind of keep scrolling through those. Google Keep is in your app store. So for your phone, I have Google Keep on the front page of my phone. It's right there, a little yellow light bulb icon. And you can see on my personal, you can see the food. I've got a few little notes there that are pinned of stuff that I'm thinking about cooking. And so my personal stuff, I can organize my recipes and things like that way. Works on Android and iOS, but super helpful because when you're out about in the world exploring things, if you just need to take a quick note, you can just open up Keep and write that down. Probably one of the best examples I can give, and I don't know why my camera is not focusing in on me. Am I fuzzy, Kathleen? That better? I don't know. I didn't put any Vaseline on the lens or anything. But I was at Smith's in Cedar City, and I see a pest control, a truck of a pest control company, and we had some earwigs that we're dealing with, and so I didn't want to call the guy right then, but I just snapped a picture, added it into Keep, and then what Keep does is it will scan any text in photos and make that text searchable. So when I was ready and we were fed up with the earwigs, I opened up Keep, I searched for pest, and look what comes up. Pest control, the guy's truck, and the signs, the picture of the truck that I took. So it's just a really cool app, a lot of fun things you can do with it. So what can Keep do for you? Capture your thoughts, capture the web. We've talked about that. On the app, you can't really do drawings on the desktop with the extension or with the Google Suite app, but on your phone, if you want to do little quick drawings or audio notes, the audio notes are transcribed into text, which is cool. Taking notes with your camera phone, you're in a conference, just snap those pictures of those whiteboards or slides, and then you can go back later and search by the text that were in there because Google looks at those photos and takes the text out of them, which is just amazing. Capture the web, like I said, bookmarks and highlights from websites, organize them with your tabs and labels later on. Using folders, I've mentioned a lot of this stuff. You can quickly create a new label by just hitting the pound sign and then typing in what you want the label, the tag to be. You can organize by color, do the quick search, and then You can archive your notes unless you're sure you absolutely are never going to want to have to use that information again. You can delete a note, but if you just don't want to see it in your notes anymore, you can archive it, but you can still look for that information in search. It'll come back up from a search later on. And now here's some awesome powers, and I may have tipped my hand on a couple of these. I need to make sure I don't run out of time. Reminders. So instead of trying to remember things, all I need to do, I can set a reminder, and I showed you that little bell icon. So like if I keep a shopping list, it's really nice. If I start to type in, chicken, it'll say chicken thighs, chicken breast. So it'll auto suggest things that I want to add, and then it'll also create like a little checklist. So I can use this as a shopping list. And then I can say, okay, put a reminder on that list and say, remind me of my list when I'm at Smith's. So I can do either a time, date, locate, or a date reminder for a specific date or time, or even a location. So, if I'm at Walmart, remind me to pick up your prescriptions, whatever you want to do. Again, it's a great tool for bookmarking. The highlights, I showed you this stuff. If I highlight some text and use Google Keep, it'll keep the URL and any of the notes that I've added. The to-do list, you can create to-do lists with others, have different collaborators, and they can add things to it, check things off, and team up. What's even awesomer, I don't know if that's a correct word, but awesomer, and I did kind of tip my hat to this one. When you do a voice note, so kind of a fun thing with the newer phones is that if I do a deep press or just kind of a hard press on the icon, I'll show you this, just kind of do a deep press. See how a little menu pops up? From there, I can say new note, new list, new photo note, new audio note, and I can pop those in. So let me say new audio note. Be sure to pick up the dogs today from daycare. So it puts the text in. I can also play back the audio. Be sure to pick up the dog. Come on. Be sure to pick up the dogs today from daycare. So I get the audio, plus I get the transcription of it. And then I can put a reminder or whatever else in there. So quick little notes that you can take whenever you want. And the awesomest thing is, again, since it scans text, have you ever like gone to a meeting or a great presentation and had this handout, and then you get back and it's Monday and I got to get ready for my students and it ends up in a drawer somewhere, and then 3 months later, like, oh yeah, that was a good meeting. Maybe I wanted to do something with that. What you can do is, instead of keeping the piece of paper, snap a picture of the piece of paper, and it again will transcribe or take that image and make it available. Some of these bigger ones, you have to go in and say, grab the text from the picture, and it will actually go scan it and bring all the text out. The more formatting there is, the worse it is, but just generally it'll take any of that text and make it copy and pastable, editable, searchable, right from within your notes. So, and then the most awesomest thing, there's even more thing. All of your notes, everything that you put in your Google Keep, there is a tool in Google Docs called the Keep Notepad. So you can open that up. It opens up a little sidebar, and then any text, any photos, anything you've grabbed from your desktop, from your phone, whatever else, you can just say, plop it into my document, and it'll drop it right into your document for you. So just a really super amazing, flexible tool. Let's see, we're doing good on time. So this is a nice little demo. We'll watch this quickly.
Life gets busy. Wouldn't it be nice to have a central place where you could save what's on your mind? With Google Keep, you can stay on top of your world by quickly and easily organizing everything you want to remember. No matter where you are.
Finalize door list for Thursday's gig.
So when you find inspiration, you can file away your ideas. And Google Keep stores them safely across all your devices. And when the time comes, you'll have everything covered. Save what's on your mind. Google Keep.
All right, so normally this is where we do a hands-on. I'm usually face-to-face with people and let them get out their devices, and we just kind of give it a try. But since we are virtual today, we won't have time for that. Here again is my kind of more thorough walkthrough of this. So if this session isn't enough or this recording isn't enough, hey, there's my wife, the note shared with me with a little thumbs up. Little Jack Johnson concert trip. I shared that with her. So we made sure we had our, what we needed back in the days when we used to have concerts and we could travel places, maybe again someday. But we collaborated on that note to make sure we had the right things for that concert. So that's a recording that you can go back to and refer to. Just a great tool, really great stuff. It's a lot of fun to use. Any questions on Keep? And I went pretty fast, and we've got still a few minutes for questions or on anything else, Canvas or anything you want. Whew.
I had one, but I forgot it.
You should have put it in your Keep. If it comes back to you, that's how my dad is. He's like, I'm sure there's something else I had to talk to you about, but I forgot it. So yeah, you guys know how to get in touch with me if you have any questions or need any help with anything. I'm glad to have more than 3 or 4 people here. That makes me feel good. So let's take a look at potential. Is there anything here? So we did Google Keep today. Is Google Sheets something that would be interesting for you guys, the spreadsheets, to learn a little bit more about organizing information, using forms? Would that be something useful we could do next week? Sandra likes that idea. Okay. All right. So we'll plan on Google Sheets for next week. I'll send out a schedule for the rest of the for the month. We'll do it at least through this month, and then we'll go from there. Let me get the roll for you guys so you can get your Midas credit for being here. This will go in the chat. Any other questions, thoughts, comments? You can put them in the chat. You can open up your mic. We had a great spelling bee today. Kathleen and I were talking about the regional spelling bee that I was in charge of today. It was a lot of fun. We had 3 kids from Iron County finish in the top 3. So we had students from Millard County, Beaver County, Iron and Washington compete. So if you're in Kane or Garfield County, talk to your folks and let's get you guys involved next year. All right. All right. If there are no other questions, make sure you fill out the roll and download Keep on your phone and give it a try and kick the tires and have some fun with it. So happy Thursday or happy Tuesday, everybody. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Clint.
You bet. And